Coming up, I'm going to be talking about the brand new Alien series, plus an update on a new Marvel Nova series, plus the future of Doctor Who could be in doubt. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with talking about a brand new series from FX based on the iconic Alien franchise. So this actual series was initially announced back at the 2020 Investors Day. It's taken a long time to arrive, but it will be arriving in 2025 on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States and on Disney Plus around the world. It's called Alien Earth. The series tells the story of what happens when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth. A young woman who's played by Sydney Chandler and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. This brand new series has been created by Noah Hawley, who has previously worked on FX Fargo. Now, due to the pandemic and then all the actors and Hollywood strikes and stuff, the series has just gone through a number of delays, but it is coming up next year. I think this one is going to be a huge hit when it does drop, especially if they can kind of jump off of the success of Alien Romulus. And maybe also moving Alien to a series might kind of give it a bit of an edge, do something a little bit different with it, a way for them to explore it on a different level. Looking forward to seeing what they do with this. The teaser trailer, very just kind of the idea really, you've got an alien looking down on Earth. Yeah, it's not, it doesn't really give away too much, but just a nice inclination of what's to come. And again, this is that same thing of what happens when Disney is not so reliant on Marvel and Star Wars and starts pulling in on content from Hulu to kind of fill up its streaming services. This one is going to be a big hit for 2025. I think it's definitely going to be a highlight. But let me know, you're looking forward to the Alien series. Let me know in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about Marvel's Nova. So this series is currently in development for Disney Plus. Now, officially hasn't actually been given, the official release where, where they give us the logo and a general idea of when it's coming out. Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige has confirmed that they are developing it. Marvel's Brad Winderbaum, who recently appeared on the Phase Zero podcast to promote the upcoming Agatha series, revealed that Nova is being in development right now. It's going to be an amazing ensemble piece, and that he shouldn't say too much. He also said there's a great case of characters that have got shades of Star Trek, shades of Battlestar Galactica, and also it feels like, those comics, heated, let's say, that Richard Rider kind of world can get, and it certainly embraces that. Now, we've already seen the Nova Corps integrated into the MCU as part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a major part of that film, and so bringing in Nova definitely is a good way forward. Now, like he said, this show is going to be a few years away. They're still very much in the early stages. They're putting together like the Bible, like the pilot, and just trying to put together the ideas of who they want in it, etc, etc. This one could be 3+ years away. This is not coming anytime soon. We have seen Marvel, they are kind of slowing down on the amount of content that they're putting out there, and also, more importantly, they're trying to get things right, so taking their time to do it correctly. Now, obviously as well, the big reason for the big slowdown is they've been able to stack up a lot of stuff in advance. So in 2025, we're getting Daredevil Born Again and Ironheart. Then in 2026, looks like we're going to be getting Wonder Man and also the Vision series, which then leads us into maybe for 2027 more Daredevil, and then maybe this new series, or maybe I even going to 2028. It's a long time away. We're very much in that stage of they're talking about it, but they're not officially talking about it. It's kind of a bit of a weird one. They're kind of not hiding the fact that they're doing it, but maybe just kind of making sure that if anything does happen. But again, don't expect this one to hit our screens for years. We're still dealing with that massive backlog. They don't want to follow into that same footsteps where they made the mistakes at Disney Plus Day and Investors Day, etc., where they announced too much in advance and they're not ready for it. And to be honest, we're probably only going to be getting 1, maybe 2 shows a year. That means now that, with them already got like 4 or 5 in the can already coming up, yeah, it's just a matter of time. They just can't fit them all in. But I think this sounds good. I think also with the idea of, with Nova, ensemble, they can bring in characters. I definitely feel it kind of leans in a bit more on bringing stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, Groot and Rocket might not be the cheapest to do in terms of special effects. It was going to cost more, but voiceovers and stuff like that are going to be much easier to bring in than, say, Batista. He says he's done with it, or Chris Pratt's going to be very expensive. But I wouldn't be surprised with that, or maybe see Will coming in and, you know, carry on the road he's got, or Mantis. Lots of different stuff in there that they could do, other characters that they've introduced, and even other things that we don't know. But I think the idea of doing it in space takes it away from Earth, allows them to do some different stories, very different to the grounded Daredevil kind of thing. Yeah, and it just gives them a bit of scope to go off and do stuff away from Earth and not necessarily interconnected with what going on here, and yeah, that might be a good thing for them to do, and whether or not he turns up in, you know, well, I gotta be honest, I mean, I think this is for phase after Avengers Secret Wars. This is going to be down the line, but yeah, I think this sounds like a good idea, but let me know what you think of a Nova series in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about Doctor Who. So there's been a lot of talk over the last few months about the future of the show, because let's say the ratings weren't really what we expected, didn't appear on the Nielsen streaming chart. Disney hasn't said a peep about how well it's done, which is never normally a good sign. It did okay in the UK. I mean, the general viewership that they announced now, the linear showings are always much lower than they used to be, so it's hard to compare apples and apples and stuff, because again, it just doesn't really work that way anymore. So trying to compare it to ratings from 5-10 years ago just doesn't seem to work. It's just not point any doing it. But the show is definitely, I would say, at risk. Now, Disney did sign up for multiple seasons. They've already filmed season 2. They've already got a Christmas special coming out this year. And they're also doing a spin-off series, which is currently in production. So we know that's all coming. Recently, during an interview with SFX, the showrunner Russell T Davies explained that he doesn't expect there to be any news on a third season until the second one is aired. He says, it's an industry decision. It's like any other business. These things take time. I think the decision will come after the transmission of season 2. That's what we're expecting. That's what we've always been heading towards. Now, it's important to note that the second season isn't going to be released on Disney Plus until next summer, probably. So, and it makes no sense for Disney to be out there right now being, yeah, we're not going to be doing this, because that would just tank this show. You know, if they came out and said, no, we're not doing it, that's a problem. Also, you've got the spin-off series. Now, I do think the fact that they commissioned this brand new spin-off series and announced it at the San Diego Comic-Con is a good sign that, you know, they've still got faith in it. Ultimately as well, Doctor Who is not as expensive to make as Star Wars or Marvel shows. It's much cheaper. And also, more importantly, it's a BBC property. They are basically paying for it, and then Disney are just, like, you know, topping into it to get the global distribution for it outside of the UK. So Disney aren't taking all the risks on this one. It's not their show. And even if Disney was like, oh, we're out, we don't want to spend any more money on Doctor Who, BBC could then carry on regardless. They could go get another investor, etc. Doctor Who has been cancelled before. It's been around for 60 plus years. It will carry on in some form or the other. Whether or not Disney's involved is really that key thing. I don't think it's necessarily a case of if Doctor Who can carry on. I think it will do, but the question is Disney. And I don't think we're going to be hearing about this until way into next summer, maybe even later, depending on when that spin-off series is coming in. But that's going to be the key thing of how Disney looks at the ratings, because that's the key other thing of how much it costs to how many viewers it's brought in globally. You know, again, how much per episode are they putting in? They've gone, that might be a financially good investment because it's not that high. It's not in that same territory as Star Wars or Willow or something along those lines. But they are ruthless. If the show doesn't do well, but again, they've got the spin-off and second season and the Christmas specials to come, maybe people check it out. But it does feel a little bit like there's a little bit of chum in the water and people are looking for, you know, something on this one. But Russell has basically said, don't expect any announcements from Disney for at least another year. I mean, that's basically it. So, you know, I think we can just put, there's just going to be, again, this big question mark of how it goes on. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. The Christmas special is always something I tend to like watching on Christmas Day. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what they do. There was a number of episodes with the last season that I really enjoyed. There were some episodes I didn't like. There was a very mixed bag. But Doctor Who's always been a bit like that. But let's see what happens with this one. But again, we've got a while to wait. But let me know, are you looking forward to the return of Doctor Who? And also, do you think Disney are going to continue after the second season? Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Question of the day, which comes from our YouTube channel member Babak, who says, has Disney announced the episode count for Wizards of Waverly Place? This is the new sequel series. I saw it online that it said 21 episodes, but I haven't seen any confirmation from Disney or anywhere else. So I've looked around. There is no details saying how many episodes. There's no lead sheet. There's nothing on the official press sites. I've gone through my things. IMDb's only got it listed for 10 episodes. Obviously, we're getting 8 episodes dropping on Disney Plus on October 30th, so that's going to be in the US. Also, it has been confirmed that those episodes are going to be arriving here in the UK at the same time, which is fantastic. Starting to see a little bit more of that one. Yesterday, they sneaked on English teacher that I didn't realise was coming. They're doing that a little bit more, which is good. Nice to see us getting out at the same time. But again, this new Waverly Place series, we don't know how many episodes. And again, that 20 episodes could be over 2 seasons. You know, do tend to like splitting them up, but it's cheap to make. It's not exactly a big expensive show, so they're more likely to maybe let this one go a little bit longer. But again, no confirmation yet on how many episodes. 21, it kind of feels more like in the old territory. They might want to see how these first like episodes go, but I think they're more than likely going to do slightly longer episodes on these ones because it's cheap to make, etc. But let me know, excited about this new series. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Remember to go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.